Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
I mean, it's amazing. You don't get counted. If you stop looking for a job for 4 weeks, you just drop off the map. You don't get counted anymore. That doesn't make sense, huh?
Hardly accurate.
Hardly.
Well, they were talking this morning on news. Another issue, but very similar in nature, is talking about the number of homeless that we have now in L.A. County, up to something like, I don't know, 44,000 or something.
Wow.
But I forget the exact numbers, but they said, it's simply because we don't have affordable housing. Really? If you think affordable housing is that's all that homelessness is about,
right?
You haven't got a clue.
No, I've talked to, and I've talked to and spent some time with some homeless people, and when you talk to them, there's so much more to it. There really is. I mean, and some of them, I thought he had a good point. One of the gentlemen, I had him wash my car a couple times and do some errands for me and little things trying to help him out because he wanted to work.
Sure.
But he just didn't want to have a full-time job. And I said, hey, Lincoln, what's going on? Why do you choose to live this way? You're a smart guy. You know how to do plumbing work. You send it. And he says, look at you with your phone all day long to your ear and stressed out and worried. And he's like, I wake up in the morning. I got to worry about how I can buy myself a pack of cigarettes, how I can buy myself a can of beans, and where I'm going to sleep tonight. He goes, that's how I choose to live. I said, well, all right then. And
that's a significant number. It truly is. Not by any. They run the gamut. But I worked with the homeless to some significant manner when I was a Los Angeles policeman in Los Angeles, and it runs the gamut. There are people that have clearly are challenged, clearly alcoholics, clearly drug people involved with heavy drugs, and then there are those that choose to be there. Those are others that are trying to get out of it. It just runs the whole gamut. There is no single answer to homelessness, but keep in mind, no society in the world has ever been able to prevent homelessness.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A great point.
44,000, that's a lot in L.A. County. We don't have homeless. Yeah, we do. We have it right here in Santa Clarita, obviously.
You better believe we do.
All right. So, again, if you just tuned in, you're here with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show going, wait a minute, we're not talking about real estate and finance. No, but every day we do talk about real estate and finance on the National Real Estate Cafe. Go to nrecafe.com. Check that out, and also go to America's Professional Resource Group at aprgi.com, where you can find the best professionals we've ever interviewed on the show. Well over 600 and something interviews. How about that?
Wow.
I know,
That's a
huh?
big number.
Yeah, it is. Well, it helps us meet great people like you, Bob, and thank you again for taking time out of your day giving us updates. Let's talk about, you were mentioning George Pedersen, who is such an instrumental person in our community development as a councilman and a mayor and dealing with the earthquake and everything. I know you have another person you want to bring up, Connie Warden?
Connie Warden Roberts, yes.
Okay.
And I bring up Connie because she really, as I was describing George Pedersen, they were very close friends, by the way. Worked together on so many things, including cityhood. They both worked on cityhood.
How about that?
And I will tell you, Connie Warden Roberts, she was right out there, and I mean, you're talking about getting into grassroots involvement in the community. I cannot begin to tell you the number of meetings that she has held in her living room. Here,
Old school, huh?
Absolutely, but she was known as a road warrior because ultimately she probably did more hands-on work in trying to assist with the roads and the widening and improvement of roads. She sat on the Transportation Committee for the Chamber of Commerce. She actually is the founder of the Valley Industrial Association.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
A lot of people do not realize
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
that was Connie's baby, and I remember when she put it together. She just did so much for this community. So this evening, well, it actually will be, last Tuesday. We'll see how this goes. But hoping that we will have the opportunity to name the bridge that is being widened and improved upon going over the 14 at Golden Valley. It's all part of the Cross Valley Connector. It's actually that portion that terminates there at the 14. But it will be coming forward for the council to consider naming that bridge after Connie Warden Roberts. And I can tell you, once again, as knowing that lady as well as I did for so many years, she passed away last year, but I can't think of something to honor her more, and so well deserving. So
How can our community get behind that more to help make that happen? Because I've been out here since '76. Again, I mentioned, we had 2-lane roads everywhere. People don't remember the congestion just trying to get into Saugus. you know, from the freeway. You remember?
Sure.
I mean, we didn't have all the signals. We didn't have all the extra roads. We didn't have Newhall Ranch. I mean, I can go on, but it was a mess trying to get through this city with the roads.
Well, I mean, look at the Cross Valley Connector. What a difference.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it really has alleviated a lot of the traffic. It's not perfect. It'll never be perfect, but I'll tell you, we've come a long ways.
Oh, yeah.
And guys, if I may, and talking about Connie and George Pedersen as well, and there was, by the way, a large gathering of community movers and shakers, and I openly will admit I was not a part of that. But I wish I would have been. I'd been honored to have been. But having said that, none of these things really existed until we became a city. It was the best thing that ever happened to the Santa Clarita Valley was the creation of the city of Santa Clarita. And we are absolutely a poster child of success when it comes to cityhood here in Santa Clarita. All of this improvements, beautifications, new roads, improved parks, and so on simply would have never happened. And it's because those things, and these folks came together and realized it simply wasn't going to happen unless we were able to put together a city. And that's how, after a couple of years of very difficult work, we were successful in getting it through LAFCO, Local Agency Formation Committee, and it became the city of Santa Clarita.
Obviously, a lot of work. I mean, that's not just signing on a dotted line.
Oh, no.
My goodness.
No. It obviously had to go to a vote, but to get it on the ballot was a huge, huge effort.
I guess what I'm looking at is there's still lots of areas that of the valley that are not annexed into the city. So, you know, what benefits are there, and what are we doing to continue to have the city grow within the limits of the valley?
Excellent question. And, Gino, I will tell you, we do not go out and solicit for areas to come into the city. If you want to become part of the city, you know, particularly Fair Oaks is an example. That was a large one. But those folks made the decision through their HOAs and some movers and shakers in that area that they would like to become part of the city. So they approached the city, and then the city, in turn, we go out and we kind of evaluate. And when I say evaluate, we want to take a look at what are the challenges of that area by bringing it into the city. What can we bring to them? What can they bring to us? So that's how the city has grown. When Fair Oaks came in, we brought in 12,000 more residents. It is that annexation which brought us into being the third largest city in LA County. Out of 88 cities in the county, we are the third largest, behind Los Angeles, Long Beach, and then you have Santa Clarita.
Wow.
That's cool.
Nice.
All right, so thank you for tuning in again. You're here with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Don Getling here with Gino Franti and Mr. Bob Kellar, Mayor Pro Tem, giving us some great insider information about how this city became a city and who was involved in making that happen. Very great stories. Great information. It's nice to honor George Pedersen and Connie Warden Roberts for their contribution to our city. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's happening today in our city. We're going to talk about the high-speed rail. We're going to talk about Old Town Newhall activities and so much more. Don't go away. Great information coming up on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.